Hi, folks, and welcome to TechTVPro from Soteria Technology Solutions, where we answer your emails about tech support. I'm Dave Rapor, and with me, as always, is Bill, the Bill guy, Ramsey. How you doing today, Bill?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, I hope you can answer a question from our viewer.
I'm fighting a cough is what I'm doing today.
All right. Well, we'll try to get through this then together.
All right.
How about that?
All right.
I got a question for you. What is the first computer you ever owned?
Oh my gosh. Wow. So
That's
I bought
ways
one.
back, folks.
Yeah,
A ways
1995
back.
is when I bought my first computer.
Yeah.
It had Windows 3.11 on there.
Oh my goodness.
And,
that was forever ago.
It was a Pentium. I want to say it was a Pentium 75.
Pentium.
And it had 4K of RAM.
4K of RAM.
4 megs of RAM. I'm sorry, 4 megs of RAM. 4 megs of RAM. And an 850 meg hard drive, which was huge
you
at the
get more
time.
RAM these
Just
days
huge.
than what the hard drive was. then.
Yeah, and it was huge. And I'll never forget that by the end of the first year, my now ex-wife got me for Christmas. She bought me a 16 meg stick of RAM.
Don't say.
And I was like,
My
"What? That was
goodness.
more RAM than most anybody." I lived in Okinawa at the time that anybody had, and I just looked. I remember looking at her and feeling awful because I was like, "You have to buy them in groups of 2. You can't just buy one."
know.
No, she totally knew. She goes, "The other one's on layaway." I was like, "Oh my god!" And so I had when it was all said and done, I had 40 megs of RAM, and everybody was like, "What? What are you doing with all that?"
And that
Cow.
was high
It was
power
huge.
in those days, right?
Yeah, it was huge.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Well,
that was a long time ago. Wow.
It was, 1995.
Yeah.
You said, well, you're dating yourself. All right, I got a question for you here. This is a question from Dan in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Uh-oh. My wife tells me a solid-state drive won't last as long as a regular drive. I think solid-state will last longer. Who is correct? I guess you're giving out a little bit marital advice today, Bill. I'm not sure that's what this show's about, but go for it.
Can I just say I don't want to get in the middle of this?
Yeah, I think you can, but you
answer?
still have to answer the question.
Okay, so that's actually an interesting question.
Is it?
So I'm going to put it interesting but irrelevant.
Okay.
So they've got better things to argue about.
Okay. Good to know. All right, Dan. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Remember
right.
that one, Dan.
Yeah.
So let's go with technically.
Yes.
If she said that the spinning drives, the HDDs, last longer,
Yes.
technically she's probably right.
Really?
She's right. So one of the fears about SSDs are that they can only handle so many read writes before they fail.
I see.
So, and there's been all these tests and to try and establish this. I've never seen one fail. That's the thing.
There's a practicality and then there's
Exactly.
the technical
answer
to that
I've never
question.
seen one actually fail.
Yes.
And I'm going to say that the read write limitations, should they truly exist or whatever, are probably outside of the life of whatever device you're running it in.
Yes.
With that being said, remember I don't play in an enterprise world, right? I play in a small business, a small and medium sized business world.
Yeah.
And so certain applications, make way more read writes than anything that I'm used to seeing.
And explain what a read write is.
Well, when the computer reads from the drive or writes back to the drive.
I see. Okay.
So it's
got it.
it's constantly exchanging information back and forth.
Yes.
And every time they read it and every time they write it.
Yes.
The theory is that it takes life off the drive. It can only handle so many of those.
Yes.
So, and remember, the technology gets better all the time. In a few years, we probably won't even have those kinds of drives
Something
anymore.
different
I don't know.
at
It'll
that
be,
point in
some kind of gel that stores all of it.
perhaps so, right.
I don't know,
Yes.
So, I say it's probably true but irrelevant because it's not going to matter. In the overall scheme of things, for most people, that's not a concern that they need
You'll
to
probably
worry about.
replace your computer before
Right.
that fails.
Yeah.
Something else will fail before that, in all likelihood, is what you're saying.
And have good backups.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter.
Yes, right.
So
right,
you buy a new SSD, they're cheap, you put it in and you restore your data and you go about your business.
Now, does an SSD drive defragment in the same way that an old school drive
No,
would?
you don't need to defragment.
Really?
You don't need to defragment, check this, those kinds of things.
Those things don't happen.
They don't have those kinds of failures.
Right.
Remember the old HDDs, they have their own failure points. So,
yes.
And here's the thing. Will it last long? Not technically, but it's probably going to throw a head because there's constantly these spinning discs.
Around, movement.
And, if you ever turn on a hard drive and hear click, 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 click.
Yeah.
You're done. That's a noise you don't want to hear in your hard drives,
Yeah.
Or people get these external hard drives and they knock them over because external does not mean portable. Or they pick them up and carry them around and they end up damaging those things.
Yes, yes.
So, if you never ever touched it again, can it last longer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, and the trade-off isn't worth it.
All right. Well, thanks for that great marital advice for Dan.
Dan, you have better things to worry about, buddy. That's that. Don't die on that hill.
That's right. Well, Dan, thanks for a great question. Bill, thanks as always for a great answer. And if you've got a question for us, just send us an email at techtvpro@heysoteria.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.